The universities usually have a book. It's this big book. And they open it. And they go to Philippines. Now when they go to Philippines, for example, they see one thing. They see one authority giving diplomas, and they have a photo of that diploma, what it looks like. So, if you're giving diplomas from different authorities and universities don't know these things, your kids are lost. You know what I mean? If you come from India, they look at the Indian National High School Diploma. They have a picture of it, they know how it's signed, because they look for forgery as well. So, they have all these details, information. Now, for the Philippines, you have DepEd, which is a national authority for granting diplomas for high school, and you have TISTA and CHED. Well, CHED is higher education. So if you're going to do your master's degree, they look at your bachelor degrees, they look at your universities, if they are accredited, not accredited, with the authorities who give the degrees and so forth. Now let's just talk about high school. Now, TISTA. The high school it gives, if it is a high school, it's not high school. So, those kids cannot go to universities, period. That's it, they're out of the whole thing. Now, the only authority that gives a high school diploma for kids, which is recognized worldwide, is DepEd. So, it's your responsibility how you plan your programs, that those kids can compete everywhere on earth with equal footage from Zimbabwe to Lesotho to Argentina to Kuala Lumpur to everywhere. That's my whole concern. Now, if you want to do entrepreneurship, if you want to do partnerships, if you want to do with restaurants, if you want to do with other schools, fine. At the end, this diploma, where does it go? How is it accepted? What is the content of that diploma? And what institutions look for in terms of credibility? Is it credible? If it's not, then you have to ask your questions again. What are we doing to those kids? That's my concern. And I am sure my concerns are not in any way stronger than yours, because I cannot be a Filipino. I love the country, but it's your country. And we always look at what is best for the Filipinos who are emerging into a challenging world. And let me just conclude. I tell my kids all the time, because in college, they are in college, I tell them, I'm sorry for you guys. You are born for the bad, bad world. We lived your age in a prosperous economies. We find jobs, everything was easy. Now everything is so difficult for you. So the world have changed. So you have so many challenges. I feel sorry for you. And that's what the kids are facing these days. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Anwar. We appreciate your passion and your concern for Philippine education. And thank you, Director Valles, for the very informative presentation. I'm sure the discussion and the dialogue will continue. We know where Director Valles is. I think they have a Facebook, they have a Twitter account, they have Facebook. Yes. Can we flash it somewhere or post it somewhere? Yeah. Before we move on, while we're having our morning snacks, may I plug NowPlanet.TV. We invite you to visit NowPlanet.TV. This event, you can see it live streaming, and we've posted the URL. It's there, and also outside the session. It's FFPHGMR2012.NowPlanet.TV. To all our new participants, we welcome you. And may I respond to what Dr. Anwar said about being equal to the rest of the world? Here's good news. In today's Inquirer, page 1 story, PH Budget English Teacher of the World. In April, the Philippines topped 75 other countries in the Business English Index 2012 prepared by the Global English Corporation, a California-based company that aims to advance business English among global organizations. Note, top among 75 countries. Only the Philippines attained a score above 7, a level within range of a high proficiency that indicates an ability to take an active role in business discussions and perform relatively complex tasks, Global English said in its release. The Philippines is joined in the top 5 by Norway, 6.54, Estonia, 6.45, Serbia, 6.38, and Slovenia, 6.19. So our next activity is a panel discussion, and we welcome our 3 panel discussants. Their topic is the use of ICT in technical and vocational education and training, or TVET, for the youth. May I invite them to the front, please? And we will thank you, Director Valles. Thank you, Dr. Anwar. May I introduce our panel discussants, Mr. Angelo Timoteo M. Diaz de Rivera, President of CICT Services and former Head of the Government's National Computer Center, Dr. Teresita P. Medado, Managing Director, Asia Pacific Technology Center Incorporated and Head of the Corporate Communications Office of Asia Pacific College, and Ms. Susan De La Rama, Executive Director of the Desktop Planning Office and Project Manager of eDesktop. I shall now give the time to our 3 panelists.
Thank you very much, Anne. Tata, would be join us here, please. I think what we intended to do was to start with Patty De La Rama's presentation to give the context of ICT for TechVoc for the youth, and then I would come in, and Tata would also come in to discuss various aspects of our experience of ICT and the use of ICT for TechVoc, especially for the youth. So while Patty's preparing her presentation, maybe I could just start off by talking already a little bit about what we have been doing. Well, before that, let me just talk about today. I've been in the private sector for 2 years already since I left government, and I just wanted to share 2 particular aspects that I thought were very relevant to today's discussion. One of them is the sea change in terms of there are 2 major shifts in the use of ICT in general. One of them is, as Anne mentioned earlier, the use of social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all of these things. It's become very ubiquitous already. And even in the Philippines, we are one of the leaders in the use of Facebook and Twitter. However, it seems to have not yet taken hold as a professional tool. If you look at Facebook and Twitter now in the US, it's very much a professional tool. Nobody can ignore 500 million potential customers. So if you look at it from that perspective, that this is where your customers are going, industry has gravitated to Facebook and Twitter in a very large way. And it's imperative that for us to compete in the global arena, we have to be able to support initiatives to move our citizenry